guys, and welcome to Secret Diary of a Mumpreneur. I'm Danielle Blenman, and today I have a very, very special guest. So I'm joined here today by my third Mumpreneur on the show, and she's actually my mother, Wendy. So I'm going to let her quickly introduce herself. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe, like, share, comment. This is our Mother's Day special. We had an amazing Mother's Day yesterday, and we just want to share with you a bit about us.
Okay, so hi everyone, my name's Wendy, as Danielle said, and I'm really happy that Danielle's invited me here to do this little talk with her. I'm really proud of her, I must say that first. So I have my own business, I have my own counselling business, and I am a supervisor as well, so I supervise groups of counsellors, individual counsellors. I also have private clients I do counselling with. They could be children, adults, couples, a range of ages, different ethnicities, etc. I also work as a mentor in a university, working with people with disabilities, learning difficulties, mental health. And I'm also a carer for my mum and grandma of 3.
Yeah. So, you see where I get the mumpreneurship from. So yeah, as Mum said, like, she's not only also all those things, like she's also a mother, a grandma, a glamma we like to call her. So her nickname is Nana. And yeah, like we're just going to discuss kind of like what it was like growing up, and where did you kind of get inspired by. For those of you that don't know, I run 3 businesses. So I run a dance company, I'm a nutrition coach, and I run an empowerment project. And I would say that you have inspired me to become a mumpreneur. As I said at the Glow Mother Awards, I kind of dedicated my award of Best Mumpreneur to my mother. So like obviously the award's still at my house, but yeah, it was dedicated to my mum. So inspired by. So I feel like growing up, because I'm also the eldest, so seeing you kind of juggle all those different things and being a counsellor, that kind of inspired me to work for myself, or showed me that, okay, I don't need to work for a boss, I can create what I want to do. So yeah, where did that kind of come from for you, and what kind of jobs have you had in the past before you decided to work for yourself as a mumpreneur?
Okay. So I became a single parent with my 3 daughters, Danielle, Shanice and Imani, and I wanted to find a job that would fit with my children so that I'd have the holidays off with them and be there with them in the evenings, and just spend as much time with them as well as do a job to show them that they can, you know, don't have to be on benefits, etc., but they can work and, you know, have their time with their family. So I decided to do fostering because that fitted with my family, and I could take those children to school as well with my family. And then after a couple of years, I decided to do counselling. It was going to be social work, but at that time they weren't really getting a good, you know, press or, you know, very good likes, reputation. Yeah. So I became a foster carer. And I became a foster carer as well because my mum fostered. So she fostered from, oh my God, years and years and years. She did it illegally. So at the time, years ago, we didn't have to do all the like CRB and the DBS as they call it now. But she used to take children in.
Always,
people used to say, can you look after my child? Can you pick my child up? Yeah. So then we had to help mum look after the foster children. And then we then became foster carers at Bromley, because by then they said people had to be checked, etc. So Danielle and the other children, Shanice, Imani, they've all grown up with children around them. And then what happened was some of the children used to talk to me about their life and the difficulties that they were having. And then their parents used to talk to me as well. So then I thought, okay then, let me just see where I can go with this. And then the counselling came up for me. Yeah. The counselling job.
And I always remember like just a house always being filled with children, especially with Nan. I don't know, how many children do you think she's fostered, like, properly? Like, you can't even count. Like, there's always been kids. So I've always grown up as well as one of the eldest, but there's been foster children that have been older than me as well. But I've always grown up around like young people, so I think that's where my love for kind of helping other young people came from as well, and seeing like you and Nan fostering other children. And with the counselling as well, that was definitely me following your footsteps as well, because I've also got a diploma in counselling, and that was from me seeing my mum counselling all these young people, and I was just like, how can I help them? And again, like, I did that after I started Love to Dance. So I started Love to Dance when I was 19, but then when I was 20, because of the young people coming and speaking to me, and I felt like I'm not just a dance teacher, I'm like big sister, and because this is before I had my children, I'm like a big sister to them, and they're opening up about things. So you kind of inspired me to go and do a counselling course. And I remember I was the youngest person there. So, and I was in the class with like 40-year-olds and stuff. And I remember saying to you, like, Mum, like, I'm the youngest one here. They're saying I can't even do the next course yet. I think till I was 21. So, but another thing I want to say is, like, I just feel like anything that I've wanted to do, you haven't discouraged me. So even though I was like, yeah, I want to do a counselling course at like the age that I'm too young to even do the next one, you've always just been like, yeah, okay, go for it. I want to start a dance company, go for it. Okay, by the way, I'm doing events, go for it. If I want to host this, like, you've always supported me, and I've taken that on as well. So with my two daughters, Maya and Amelia, I feel like I just want to empower them as much as they can, because I've had that support myself. So it's like being limitless. Like, we had this discussion the other day, didn't we? It's like, both of us, we don't have titles, so it's like we just take on and take on and take on, and I've definitely got that mindset from you, just to be limitless and do what you love. And I think we're both just working in our purpose at the moment, and I've finally found that, like, age 34 now, I've finally kind of found that balance, and becoming a single parent myself, I have got you as a reference now to kind of look at, like, in the last year, me being by myself. I know that you're always there, and I think back like, oh my God, how did my mum do this? And it's like, I remember like how hard it is, and it's like you can kind of sense sometimes, and you'll check in, and I always feel like I'm still a little girl to a certain extent, because you can't ever get tired of your parents saying, I'm proud of you, or like, even just now he's like, proud of you, like, oh my God. And like when we was at the awards, and he was like, I'm proud of you. You've been to like my very first speaking event this year, because I've just become an inspirational speaker at events, and I was so nervous, and like my mum was there filming, and like I went back to the audience, she gave me a big hug, and she was like, oh, I'm so proud of you, Danielle. And I was like, oh my gosh. So you never like tire of hearing your parents say that. And I definitely take that away, and I always tell my girls, like, I'm proud of you, well done, you're doing well, and just keep that encouragement going. So that's something you've installed in me, which is really nice. What was it like, what was I like, I should say, like as a child growing up? What was I kind of like to manage?
So you were very wanted to do everything quickly, and you wanted to be everywhere quickly and learn things very, very quickly, which was good, but sometimes it wasn't, you know, you could have had more patience. Because you was an only child of mine for seven years.
About 7 years, only child,
I think you got spoilt, and there were things that you got given, especially from your dad, that you didn't have to. Definitely. Always. That you didn't have to. You just got quite quickly. So then, by the time your sisters came along, it was a sharp shock for you, because it's like, I have to share this. I have to do this. I have to do. You know, I have to, like, you know, share my things with my siblings. So I think that was a bit difficult for you. You were always fun. You was always happy. You was always teaching the children to dance. Your siblings to dance from an early age. You would have them having scripts. You would have them like, okay, you do that dance. You do the performing in front of the family. So that's where I think you managed to get your dance routine from. So So you were really you were good, but you were mischievous as well.
I think that carried on into my teens,
It
actually.
did carry on to your teens. But you were very ambitious as well, because you did the under 18s discos as well, and you were quite young at the time.
Yeah.
You were what, early 20s?
I can't remember. So I used to basically, I just took the initiative when I was younger. I had, so Imani used to come, didn't she? So my youngest sister at that time, this was, about 8 years ago. At that time, they didn't kind of have the same things that we had. So when I was younger, I had like Junior Jam by Choice FM. And I remember like I was running my dance school at the time, but all the young people that was in my teen class didn't have anywhere to go. They would hang around the street. So I just kind of started up this under 18 rave called Swag. And I remember saying to my mum, I just got a hall and I'm going to hire it out and I'm going to invite all these young people. And it was massive. It was literally like the whole, whatever area I went to with it, that whole area came. So I was kind of just like hosting these events for under 18s.
We did it
for about 2 years, 3 years.
And she got the whole family to like be at the security. Her dad was security.
He was on the door.
Her sister, so she got the whole family involved, and it was really, really good. You know, just you know, for Danielle to set something up like that, and that's what she does. She'll wake up with an idea and go, okay, I'm going to do this, and she will just go and she will do it.
One of my mottos is definitely create what you want to be part of as well. So that is something that I will just wake up and have an idea. And I have to say, like, my family just support me all the time. Like my mum said, this year is going to be 15 years for my summer showcase, and already I'm like, every year, mum's on the door, Nan's doing the raffle, someone else might be like selling the drinks, but everyone just chips in. So I've always got that kind of support at my shows and events, which is really amazing. Like I said, like, you've never said to me, oh, I don't think you should do that. Oh no, it's not a good idea. You've always just kind of been like, all right, just do it. If you want to do it, just do it. So that is definitely the positive mindset.
I also think, like you said, Danielle, about, you know, even though you're going to be the age you're going to be this year, I don't know if
I'll be 35 in June, guys.
You know, she's my daughter, and Danielle will always be my daughter, and I will guide her, I will give her advice, and I will give her, you know, if I feel she's doing something that's going to harm her or not be for her best interest, I will tell her about it. And I think that's what us as mothers have to continue doing, not feel that our children are grown because they're adults,
too old,
still have that input for them, the grandchildren and everybody, because you're never too old to learn new things. So, and I'm grateful 100%. That I'm still able to do that, to help Danielle.
And I would say, like, over the years as well, like, probably teenage years, we probably clashed because I would have been thinking, oh, why is she telling me this? And like getting like grounded or whatever else. But over the years, like now I can probably say my mum, majority of the time, is probably most of the time always right. Eventually, I'm just like, actually she's right, and I see myself doing stuff like that you do. It's so crazy. So sometimes I'll say something to mine and I'll be like, oh my god, that's my mum, like oh my gosh. But then it's nice to know that as well, my daughters can always phone my mum and they see like the value that I put in you. So if they're doing something wrong, I can be like, I'm going to call Nana, and they will fix up quick time because they don't want Nana to be disappointed in them. So that's really, really like a good kind of value to have in them. So they look up to you a lot because they see that I look up to you, and they'll ask me questions like, Mummy, was you naughty when you was a little girl? Or Mummy, did you ever get into trouble? So it's
and Danielle did get into trouble, and there was one big trouble that she really did get into. So she's not, you know, as perfect as people might think, or, you know, very good all the time.
I was mischievous.
She's very mischievous. Sometimes she got away with it, but this
What's
time
What's the worst thing that I did?
So the worst thing she did was I went on holiday with my cousin, and I left my car keys hanged up in the passageway. And when I came home, the first thing I saw was my car looked like it was parked differently to where I put it. So the next day I went to drive my car, and I put the ignition in the the key and ignition, and I started it, and it just flew forward. And it was like, okay, Danielle's been in my car. So I went back upstairs and I said, Danielle, did somebody go in my car? No, Mum, it's been there, it's parked. And
you know when mums know when you're lying.
And then her cousin must have spoken to her about, oh, they went somewhere, and wasn't it fun? Yes, Danielle took my car and they drove.
I did. At the time, I won't even say how old I was because I wasn't actually legally meant to drive, but I knew how to drive before I had my license. And you went away, and I remember I dropped my friend home. Yeah. It was late. I was doing a good deed, so it was late. And we did stop at Morley's as well, and because I remember you said as well, it smells like chicken. But yeah, so that's probably the worst thing I've actually done. Yeah. But I did own up eventually. I feel like, I did own up eventually. But that's probably the worst thing I've done. I remember one time as well, I stayed out and I got my friend to pretend she was her mum.
Oh yes.
So I was just out with my friends, but I got my friend to pretend that she was the mum and speak to mum, and then mum found out because one of my cousins grasped me up and it was like, no, they were out. So so that was probably it. But I always kind of had a plan of what to do. So I was like, I want to go out. What can I do to get out of trouble? So there's other things, but I think mum still doesn't know about those other things, so that's good. These are the two worst things I've done that she knows about. But yes, I already see this in Maya. Yeah. I already see it.
And you will do, because again, you, like you said, you see your parents and you think, oh, they're going to do that, or my child's not going to do that. Your child does.
Yeah.
And you can say to your child, you know what, I've been there, I've done it, I know.
Yeah.
I'm a t-shirt.
I know. I always say to them, tell me now and you won't get into trouble. I was like, tell me the truth, mummy won't tell you off. If you tell me the truth, then I won't tell you off. And sometimes they'll tell me the truth and I'll be like, oh my gosh, now I can't actually tell them off because they've done it. But just giving them that trust. I've never felt like I can't speak to you about anything as well, which is really good.
Yeah.
Like, we've got a very open relationship, always. I think, throughout my whole life, I think there's never been a time I think, oh, I can't speak to my mum. So what is in the future? How do you kind of see, because you are a grandma now of 3, it is hard to get this woman to babysit because this woman is living her best life as grandma. Sometimes I want to go out, I'll probably go out once a month because I'm like, Mum, can you babysit? Nah, I'm out tonight, sorry. So now you've got 3 grandchildren. People still mistake us for sisters. It's what do you kind of see for the future of our family and me growing with my girls?
So I've got my own business, as I said. I did work in a college for 15 years and I decided 4 years ago, 4 years ago, to just concentrate on building my business. So it's really difficult when you have a business to balance, being a grandma and being a carer as well, because at this stage of my life I'm looking after my mum as well. So I've had to do exactly what I had to do when my children were younger, find a way to do work where I can look after my mum, look after the grandchildren, still have time with my children and my family. And I have health problems as well, so I need to look after my health. So time management is really, really important. So I have a day in a week that I just do admin, or I just do catching up on my work, etc. And the weekends to do housework and any other things that come into place. But what I would like to do now is to do some workshops in another country. So our parents are from Barbados, so Barbados is going to be the first port of call. So I've got some things lined up and some people that want to do some work with me in Barbados. So that'll be teaching counselling skills, listening skills, communication skills, because I feel that that's lost because of a lot of social media. You're not doing the face-to-face talking or on your phone, and communication's lost, especially. And the other thing, that extended generations of families have been lost as well. So we're fortunate, we've got 5 generations of us still alive. And we're all helping each other. Some people haven't even got first or second generations. So so my plan is to go starting with Barbados and hopefully the rest of the Caribbean, to do some workshops and maybe do some work there as well, doing counselling and mentoring and coaching.
And we've also kind of collaborated a lot together.
Yeah.
So I feel like, we're going to probably do a lot more together. You help out a lot with my Us Girls and Us Boys offering free counselling services, obviously at the events as well. And I feel like when you was touching on like managing your time, that's something that my mum's really helped me with, like kind of time blocking. Because still to a certain extent, I'm kind of like, I want to do that, but I want to do that, but I want to do that. And like having my mum there kind of just grounds me for her to say, Dan, do you think you're doing a bit too much? Like, you need a day for yourself. So that's where once a week I'll have a self-care day. Or even if it's 10 minutes every day, I'll make sure that I just have time out now. And I'm more kind of aware when I'm overdoing it. And the thing is, you give me advice sometimes, but you don't take it yourself. So she'll be like, rest, and then you'll be like, the next week I'll be like, well, you need to rest.
We're both so similar.
It's so crazy. So we'll give each other advice and then not take it. But like we definitely have collaborated a lot. So I do want that to continue. And in different countries, I get my partying from this woman, and we are going to Barbados crop over this year as well together. Like, I love having a young mum because it's like, you just go out, you just have fun, you just like still growing together. I feel like me having my kids as well has helped me to grow to another level as well. So it's like, you're never too old to learn, but you're never too young to teach, sort of thing.
Yeah, and you're never too old to live your life as well, because there's no time, there's no like time to, you can start new things at any time in your life. So.
That's something that you've taught me as well. Just start now. Just do it now. So not one day. Just do it. Whatever you want to do. Life is short. As my mum said, she had health problems, and one of the reasons why every single event I do, so every summer show, I fundraise for a different charity. So my mum had cancer when I first started Love to Dance, and I remember the first ever showcase I put on was literally to raise money for cancer research, because my mum was going through that. So from that 15 years ago, that's what started me kind of fundraising at every showcase for a different charity. So I've done cancer research, cancer run for about the first 2 years of having Love to Dance. Nan went through, still going through cancer, so we're all kind of chipping in, caring for her. And it's like, just seeing the strength of you and Nan is just amazing. It's like, we are powerful, strong women in our family. We get through a lot, and I'm not even like phased by being a single parent, because I've seen you do it, and I've seen you come through the other end, and I've seen like how strong you are, and I've seen like how we've grown up as well, and I already see it in Maya and Amila. They're so strong, they're so strong-willed and positive minded. So
I was also thinking about the parenting and the support and care we give to other children. You give in your work, and most of my work is with young people or children, and sometimes they haven't got that role model or that person to speak to about advice or guidance, and you do that in your work, and I do that in the counselling and the mentoring. So it's, we're not just doing it for our family, but we're doing it
helping
for
others,
foster children, children in the dance class,
creating an impact in other people's lives as well. And as you can see, we both love our crystals. This is another thing I've got from Mum, learned from Mummy about our crystals and everything. So guys, thank you so much for watching. End of our discussion. So we're just going to have quick fire round questions, but this time Mum's going to answer the questions about what she thinks my answer is, and I'm going to answer about her, to see kind of how well we know each other. So yes.
This is going to be fun. Okay.
Favourite colour?
So you have to say what you think my favourite colour
Blue.
is. No!
Is it red?
No! Black and gold.
Oh, of course, because that's your party colours,
yours is purple.
Yes.
Okay. Ding for me.
Favourite animal?
Yours is a giraffe.
Cats?
No!
But you had so many cats.
Listen, I used to have cats, but I used to keep them at my aunt and dad's house. I've never had cats in my own house. No, but it's like a big cat. I'll give you a clue. It's a big cat. That's my favourite animal.
Tiger.
Yeah. I'll give it that one.
What's your favourite country you've been to?
I would say Barbados.
That is literally my favourite country, yeah. You've been to so many, oh my gosh, this world traveller. I think you would say Thailand is the favourite place you've been to because of the place, not because it's big. Have you not been to Thailand? Oh, shame! Las Vegas?
No. I've been there, but...
St. Lucia then?
Yes.
Okay, so, third time lucky. Have you not been to Thailand? Okay, we need to do Thailand.
Yeah, we are going to
We
do
need to do
Thailand,
Thailand.
yeah.
We are doing Thailand,
Yeah,
okay.
so St. Lucia,
That was in my head, so Thailand, right.
Favourite cocktail?
You wouldn't know my favourite. I don't think you know my favourite cocktail.
Is it a martini-based cocktail?
No. It's rum based.
It's not rum punch.
That's one of them. I'll give it to her. It is one of them. It's rum punch and a Mai Tai.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Yours is a blue something, but I can't, it's a blue Hawaii blue or blue Hawaiian. Is it a blue Hawaii? It's a blue one.
Blue Hawaiian or Blue Lagoon, yeah.
Okay.
Your favourite soca artist?
Oh,
Yours is Alison Hines.
oh yeah. Is yours...
I'll give you a clue. Grandson.
Yeah, Little Rick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And for the last question, favourite child?
You can't do that.
You're joking, that was a trick question. I know I'm the fave. She loves my siblings too. I know I'm the fave. No, you don't have to answer that one. You don't have to answer. But I do love that Mum always calls me firstborn. So when she writes cards, she's like, to my firstborn. So now I've started signing from your firstborn. No, that was a trick one. But yes, okay, guys, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, thank you.
Please like, share, subscribe. Sending you all love and light.
Thank you, Danielle.
That's okay.